Monday.
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for being with us right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen still off till Monday, but no matter. We're hanging out here with Sly Sylvester. Sly, nice enough to hang out all week with us, and you've done a phenomenal job. Sly, still with sunglasses on, I see? Why not?
Never fear, Sly's here. You know?
I guess because we have the cameras in the studio now. Heaven forbid people see your eyes in the afternoon, Sly.
No, they
how dare people try to make eye contact?
I have to keep the suspicion. Right? What's going on with that guy? That's the question that I want.
Well,
everybody.
Sly's gonna be. Look, this is a short show, so you only get a little bit of time to go in and sneak in and see if we can see Sly on the camera.
Everybody knows 3 seconds is a long time, man. That's all I need. A couple minutes, change somebody's day.
Come down. Or check it out online. You can go check us out on YouTube. You can see it on the stream it live on the KSL Sports Zone app or on the website. Any one of those. So short show, like I said. We're getting you ready for this Utah Jazz team tonight. Firing it up. A handful more games for them, and I'll tell you, it's an interesting moment to be in because we're used to winning in this market, Sly, and this is a different thing for us. I was talking to Lloyd about this earlier today. I was like, man. We just aren't used to this. There are markets that this is what they plan for this. You know what I mean? They know, get in there, we stink. You know what I mean? But we've got a couple things going on. You had the hockey team last night who had a tough loss against the Kings. That one was a rough one to watch because you were just on the edge there, and they kept it really, really, really close. And they ended up falling to the Kings 4-2. 3 more games. Yes, 3 more at Delta Center and then 3 on the road. So that means 6 games total in the regular season for this Utah Hockey Club, who are just fighting and scratching for every point here. So let's get into the program. Our show brought to you by G2G Bars, all natural ingredients and no preservatives make the G2G Bar perfect for anybody who needs that quick, tasty, nutritious boost. Let's get to the cut, kick things off officially here and get the coach, André Tourigny, on the program with us. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And, of course, this portion of the show brought to you by the good folks at Trajan Wealth, TRAJANwealth.com for your retirement. Coach André Tourigny joining us on the program, head coach of the Utah Hockey Club. Coach, tough loss last night. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. I think if you watch the game, we played really good. The guys fought. The Kings are, just put things in perspective. In their last 15 games, they, in terms of expected goal for and against, they dominate everybody. They have not one game they got dominated by their opponent. We did yesterday, so I think we did a lot of good stuff. It's unfortunate because you're desperate for wins,
right?
But you cannot ask for more from the boys in terms of effort and commitment.
Well, I just so happened to catch last week the Kings' entire game against the Sharks, which they won 8-1.
There you go.
And I remember thinking to myself, okay, they're scoring goals, but that is a really, really good defensive team too.
Well, that's the best. That's the best in the league. They're number one. So it's tough to get inside. We did yesterday. In that sense, I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of their effort, their focus, all of that. That was great.
Yeah, Coach, man, we've been hearing, interviews you've been doing all week about this time. You guys have been doing really well the last few games. But, how is this moment right now, right? This is, you guys are year 3, year 4 in this rebuild process. This year has actually turned out really well. You've learned a lot, but like you said, this is the end of the season. It's all or nothing. Ain't no holding back. Like Veggie, he's playing everything. As a coach, right? I'm sure a lot of people they coach their Pop Warner teams or whatever. What do you tell these guys in these moments? I know these are grown men, but how do you inspire them in this point in the season?
I think the first thing you said is it's really important. Those guys are pro. And those guys care as much as the coach care. The player care as much or even more. Those guys, they really want to do it for our city, for our fans, for everybody, and for themselves, for the team. So the commitment, the fight is there. There's no doubt about it. I don't have to inspire them of fighting or doing those kind of things. They are inspired and they are motivated and they are really good pros. So they're fighting and they're impressive.
What does the young guys in the locker room, we get it. And I think I heard you talking a little bit about they should be tired. I think you were talking about Veggie. You're talking about all these guys. Yeah, they should be tired because we're all and by the way, their opponents are playing 70-something games at this point in the season too. We're all dang tired, right? And look, if you want to be a Stanley Cup champion, guess what? You're going to have another 16 wins on top of all that to be able to get to that spot too. So, but what's that balance of being like, hey, these guys are young, but then to have those veterans in the locker room too at this point of the season too, when things can, you have these losses that hurt and hit you harder than others, and how big of a deal is it to have guys in the locker room that have played so many years in the league? And it was awesome to see Alex Kerfoot yesterday hit that 600 mark in his career, and these guys just they go in and out. But what is it like to have those veterans in the locker room while everybody else is talking about how young your team is too? The veterans are just as important, obviously.
Yeah, the kids are fabulous, but the parents still is pretty important. And if you want to change the team the right way, you need those guys. You need those guys who've been there, who have battle scar, who have wisdom, and who have that pride. We talked just during that chat together about how important it is to be a pro, to be motivated, is to show up every day with the urgency, the motivation to do your work and do your work at a high level. I think seeing guys like, Ian Cole, 900 game in the league, show up every day like the most important day of the year.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm a big believer of that. The best coaching is coming from the player. I can say whatever you want to Logan Cooley. There's nothing like seeing how Ian Cole prepare himself every day after Stanley Cups and battle scar and playoff run and failure and all of this, and seeing him doing it the right way every day. That's the best coaching you can have. And seeing how Clayton Keller is determined every day to improve a little something, to fight through can be sickness or can be injury or can be slump or whatever it is. That's the best teaching you can have. So I think having those veterans, those leaders in your team, there's no coaching who can replace that. None.
Yeah, I've been on a few teams, and they all say that the best teams, the most successful teams, are player-led teams, right? And
guaranteed.
The guys that you labeled, the Coolies, the Kellers, those guys are pretty young as well. So you got young leaders, which is very promising for the future. I just talk more about this young team. We were talking about it, throughout the year when we talked to Bill Armstrong and things like that. But from your perspective, how excited are you about the promise of the Utah Hockey Club?
I'm really excited. It's for people, they will say every year progress, but for us, the coaches and the players, it's everyday progress. You look this year, all the progress we made month per month, we can see our team making a huge step, learning the management, learning the grind, learning how to win close games, learning how to own their confidence and stuff like that. You could see our game grow and mature, and I felt we grew years in terms of maturity in 1 year. So I think being in that position to fight for our life, I think give us another level of understanding how to be consistent at each point, because you have all those cliches, but when you live it, when you're in it, okay, well, now that you're in the trenches and the bullets are flying, okay, now you understand even more, deeper understanding of the situation. So really, I think it's a great battle, and it's a great learning throughout the season for our young guys.
Coach André Tourigny joining us here in the program as we get you ready for the handful of regular season games for this Utah Hockey Club. It was almost exactly a year ago, Coach, at this time that we were finding out that the fate of the then Coyotes was going to become. Now that you've got a year under your belt, and I know that the hockey part is the only thing that you guys have been doing, the X's and O's, but can you put a little bit in perspective of for us, like, what this year has meant for your guys, for you personally, for your family, and really what it's been like now that we've come April to April almost entirely, the end of last year's regular season is when we found out the officially from the Board of Governors. So what's that year been like?
It's been exciting, I think, to be wanted that much, to see our fans being so excited, to see our ownership doing everything he can to set up the player, the team for the best. I think it's been amazing. I think we feel amazing about our experience, and we feel we're really fortunate.
Man, I'm coming to the game tomorrow. And I don't know if you know, but I'm excited.
Oh,
right. Yesterday after I left here, I went in and I got my custom jersey made. So me and my wife are going to be decked out tomorrow. I can't wait.
When you say custom jersey, are you saying it's got your names on it?
It's got my name on it.
Okay, see, that's the level, Coach.
Oh, yeah, I'm all down. Hey,
custom made with his own name on it. All right, it's not going to have some team player name on it.
Hey,
it's got his name on it.
Pretty much, all I'm saying is put me in, Coach. Right? You see that number 10 in the crowd? That's me, right?
You're ready to rock.
And I was an enforcer, on my teams, so I'm down to fight. I just keep that dentist.
I love that stuff.
Just keep that dentist on speed dial. But I'm excited. Tomorrow's going to be absolutely awesome. I think it's going to get great energy. What can you tell us about facing the Jets tomorrow and how your team gets ready for these top tier opponents?
I think we did. If you looked at the game last night, like I said, I think we played a really good game. Okay, it came out of one or two mistakes, but if you look at the pace of the game, the energy we had, the way we played, I think was pretty good. And if you look at our game we played this year against Winnipeg, I think we did a really good job. I think we beat them once at home, and we had a really, really tight game with them. So it will be great for us tomorrow to have that opportunity to play against the top team in the league and to see where we are at. It's a great measure stick, and we're really confident, to be honest. I think, like I said, we've been played really tough game against them, really tight game, and I think we're up for the challenge tomorrow.
Winnipeg, Seattle, Nashville, those are the final home games for Utah Hockey Club fans to come see the team and their boys out there in the black and mountain blue. And, Coach, we're looking forward to it. Good luck the next 6 games here, and then we're looking forward to catching up the end of next week as well. And good luck to you guys, and stay healthy, man.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good one.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
There's Coach André Tourigny. He might put you in.
I'm ready.
He gets that.
I can't skate though, so cause there's how you have turf shoes.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's not the same as cleats.
Could you run around with some sandpaper?
Yeah, exactly.
On the bottom of your.
Is there shoes like that, Alex?
Oh, 1,000%. Hey, producer Alex.
I've seen Happy Gilmore. He wasn't the best skater either.
I go check out on Amazon, see if there's an overnight something. Some Prime. I want it delivered between 4 and 7 a.m. though. None of this wait till middle of the day stuff. We got to get Sly ready.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't want to. I'll be that Happy Gilmore guy and take my skate off and in the middle
guy
of
with it.
365 more days till spring.
So
got to toughen up.
You got Winnipeg, best team in the league, by the way. Mm-hmm. Then you have Seattle coming down. By the way, they shouldn't have lost that game to Seattle, 10 days ago. So I think they're looking for a little bit of retribution there. You have a very winnable game against Seattle, a very winnable game against Nashville. But between the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars, those are 2 teams over the next 4 games you're going to be playing, and those are
juggernauts.
This is definitely the toughest division in hockey. I mean, I don't want to be some people might say the Metropolitan, the parity's a little bit better, but this is the only division where you have triple-digit winning teams in terms of points. There's only 3 or 4. I think there are 3 or 4 across all the divisions of both conferences of teams that have over 100 points, and 2 of them are in this division that the Utah Hockey Club are in. So you're already in a tough division, and obviously trying to fight your way into that. On top of the fact that the St. Louis Blues, who you take on last of the year, they might actually be the best team in the league. I mean, they're beyond peaking. Like, they've won, I don't know, 11 straight or whatever it is. Like, they just have not. And I think that the most impressive thing, though, is that they're 18-2-2 in their stretch over their last 22 games. 18 wins in their last 22 games.
That's what the Golden State Warriors are doing right now with Jimmy Butler. But, like, I think for Utah fans to know that we are in the toughest division, when we are up there on the tops of this division here in the next few years, you're going to know we got a darn good team.
Yeah. I'd love to see them get to – look, they have 6 games left here. You win 5 of those, you're guaranteed to be in that 90-point spot. And I'm not saying go out and win, 6 out of those last 6, because that's a tall ask. But they only got 77 points last year. This is the most points that Bear has had as a head coach in the league. And so seeing him get better as a coach, seeing this team get better, it's awesome. So I think the reality is that Winnipeg is. These teams that are Stanley Cup contenders, these guys like the Winnipeg Jets, like the Dallas Stars, like the St. Louis Blues. You have 3 legitimate teams over the next 6 games that have real shots at making deep runs in this Stanley Cup playoffs. Okay, and they're all in your division, and every one of those teams could be there hoisting the cup up. I really do think so. So. Trying to beat the Jets, that's tough to do. However, they've done it before. I don't think they're afraid of any of these teams. I don't think they're afraid of. They're not afraid of going on the road. I'm glad they've made their home record a little bit more like along the lines of what you do. They say I think that you need to be about 500 on the road, slightly above 500, awesome, and then really kill it at home. Make your home barn like your safe space, and make that be the place where you get a ton of wins. And it's been a little bit of the opposite for the hockey club, although they've come around and have done a much better job of going out there. But let's say look, they could get to, at this point with 80 points and the possibility of getting almost to that 90, a 13-point improvement this year, phenomenal for this team. So, and 90 points isn't enough to get in the playoffs typically. It's got to be more like that 95, 97, which is exactly what you're looking at with teams like St. Louis and. The Wild are falling off quite a bit, but they're probably going to sneak into that last wild card spot there in the West. So anyway, bottom line is a lot going on with this team. And what number did your wife get? She's wearing 10 also?
Oh, yeah, 10.
So both of you are wearing
10 household.
Okay.
So I got 2 jerseys. I got a black jersey and a white jersey. And the black ones, I got 55 on them, and then the white jersey's got 10.
Got 10 on them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What do
and
you
her name is the Warden, by the way. So
it says the Warden on the back?
Boss. She makes the rules. And
I love it. And if I see you guys at the game, obviously sitting a lot closer than I would be, I'm going to start throwing some stuff at you.
I don't even know where I'm sitting yet. That's actually a good point. I should figure out where I'm sitting.
You don't know.
Do I got to wear contacts tomorrow, or can I smell the ice?
Well, contacts won't help you if you get obstructed view goals. All right, so they'll just be you won't be able to see them.
I got this thing. Do you think you could pull off? I know I can't because I'm black and there's not many black hockey players. But could you pull off like a fake Clay? Like
could I?
Yeah, you said
no. My only hope is to put on a bunch of goalie gear and to try to shuffle pass.
Exactly.
Shuffle
That's
pass.
what I mean.
But what's crazy is when you see the hockey players or when you see the goaltenders, you look at them and you go, because my kids just assume they're like, yeah. You just gotta get a fat dude in goal, Dad. And then they look at me like, you want to start trying out for hockey? And I'm like, you guys, that's not how it works. The Calgary Flames, their goaltender is pretty darn good. And his last name's Wolf, and he has a pretty cool helmet. It's got Wolf on it. But he took his helmet off the other day, and he's just like skinny redheaded guy. And they're all, Bobby's one of the shortest goaltenders of the league at 5'11". And I'm like, so this short, skinny guy is a good goaltender? I hate all this.
I hate all of it.
We got to leave something for the fat guy. Come on.
Yeah, man. I'm just thinking, like, if I could sneak in. You said Stanley Cup, and I'm just, like, thinking of celebrating.
Listen.
And, if I could get, like, how people do shoeys, and I just want to drink out of the – I want to drink out of the Stanley Cup. So if I could sneak on.
Listen.
Yeah.
I know it's been washed with some Dawn soap, but
You hope.
That's
I hope.
That is,
I hope it has.
do not swab that thing, okay? Do not swab that thing.
Ignorance is bliss in those.
There is no way I would ever ingest anything off of the cup or out of the cup. None of it, okay?
It's sanitized
The
with tequila.
debauchery that thing has had to see over the years. The places that it's been. Could you imagine the guys who are like, get it for a day, and they're like, hey, where are you going to take it? You know, some guys from Saskatchewan, they're like, well, I'll come up with something.
Oh, we're going to Vegas and having a real party.
No, we're not doing that, man. Listen, the guy who walks around it with white gloves, he's not the problem. It's the guys who get it in the offseason. Remember when Gronk put a big old dent in the Lombardi trophy?
Oh, yeah, he was about to spike it.
But he dropped it or whatever. Wasn't there a dent in it?
Oh, yeah.
There was a dent in what? And by the way,
And he doesn't care.
coolest thing ever, too. Like, you get a trophy and it's got a freaking dent in it because Gronk dropped it. Sorry, coach.
It's unique.
Like, that
Sorry,
is-
Coach.
It's like when you collect coins, you want the one that they messed up on. Oh, they put a weird.
It's unique, yeah.
Washington is spelt wrong. You know, like they forgot to put the I in it.
Is
Like,
that right? I got
those coins are the most valuable when they have like a little bit of a miss. So when you have a dented Stanley Cup, it's actually better for business. All right, it is. All right.
I had a watch and they spelled my name wrong and I sent it back. Should I have kept it?
No, because they probably wanted you to send it back anyway. Oh, but well, and it's not like if they misspelled Rolex, then we got a real problem.
Yeah. ROLLX.
Rolex. Yeah. If they misspelled that, then you didn't get it from the real people out in Switzerland.
Right.
Something tells me that that guy didn't build it right. All right, we've got, by the way, since we just were talking about it, and it's a hockey night in Utah tomorrow night, you're going to have the Winnipeg Jets coming to town. We've got some tickets to give away for next week, and this is a big deal because you're going to get down there to the last couple games here of the season. I've got a pair of tickets to see the Utah Hockey Club take on the Nashville Predators on Thursday. That's the last home game of the season, right? Yeah, the 10th is the very last home game of the year, taking on the Preds, coming to Delta Center, and you can have a pair of tickets that you can win right now just by giving us a phone call and being caller number 12, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-9663. And caller number 12 wins those, and you're going to be able to see the last home game at Delta Center of the season for the Utah Hockey Club before they become a different named club next week. That actually sounds kind of like I'm kind of a sentimental dude, all right?
That's why I had to get my jerseys.
Yes.
Or sweaters.
Yeah. They're sweaters.
Did
okay?
I tell Coach that I had a jersey?
No. Actually, you did. Yeah. No, but you know what? You're not getting in the game, dude.
Idiot
You
doesn't
are not
even know
getting in
what
the
he's
game.
wearing.
It's a sweater. It's a sweater, first of all, and that's why I know I'm not putting you in the game.
Oh, God.
And then he's all,
I'm learning, dang
hold
it.
on. Are you going to wear those sandpaper shoes? Yeah, come on out. Come on out. All right, so there you go. Tickets, 575 zone is the number. Now, by the way, speaking of giving away tickets, we've got tickets to give away every Wednesday on a Win Ticket Wednesday across the entire station. We've got tickets for you. The way you can win them is you just go and you listen to every show on Wednesday. And when we say call in and win those tickets, you can do it. And next week, we're giving away tickets on our Win Ticket Wednesday to Counting Crows. That's coming to the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on August 21st of this year. The Complete Suites Tour with Counting Crows. You can absolutely win those tickets next week on our Win Ticket Wednesday, or go check out tickets at livenation.com. The KSL Sports Zone, giving out those tickets all day long on a Win Ticket Wednesday. We'll come back. Shortened show. As I said, we're going to get you loaded up with as much as we can talk about with the Final Four. Of course, it's going to be going off this weekend. We're going to have a national championship game on Monday to be able to talk about and preview for you before that. We'll get those games and much more. Plus, we'll get you ready for the Jazz and the Pacers firing off tonight in Indianapolis. So stay right here. More to go right around the corner. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Doesn't this feel like a Temu version of GoldenEye on Nintendo 64?
Was that not? Is that the
That's
not?
the best
is
game,
that the
dude.
most iconic game ever?
The music from that game, like that game, by the way, like so I have the Nintendo Switch and I paid like extra money just to be able to get that game, like you had to buy like the vintage pack or whatever from Nintendo 64. And my kids are like, "What's the big deal with this game?" I'm like, "Oh no,
What's the big deal?"
And I don't let them play.
Insult me like
it's really funny because like I don't let them play. Like we're not a Fortnite family. I don't like the shoot 'em up games, whatever. But that is a shoot 'em up game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, big time. The graphics are horrible. But I remember being like my older brother and I looking at each other, passing the first level of GoldenEye and being like, "Oh my gosh,
We did it."
can you believe how this looks? I can't believe they make it so realistic, and it looks like paper mache dolls. It looks so bad. But
This looks
you know
just
what?
like the movie.
I'm telling you, there was a lot of hours logged with friends in high school playing some Nintendo 64 and some GoldenEye.
So you talk about that beat. I think it's just iconic because anytime you press pause or like after, it's like left. It's like left there, and your mom's yelling, "Come eat!"
I know,
And so,
you're
but
like,
you can always hear that game, and you're just scarfing your food down so you can get back. Yeah, it's like a screensaver.
Hey, Alex.
That should
Maybe
be our
think
intro
about
music.
finding the GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's gonna be
it's
our
not even the
intro
GoldenEye music. It's the GoldenEye
Beat.
pause. It's the pause screen music. Okay, really stupid, but you know what? It's amazing. By the way, wanted to make mention that every week you can nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. The Hercules Hero of the Week, easy enough to do. Find somebody in your neighborhood, in your rec center, with your kids' teams, whatever it might be, who goes the extra mile to help the kids love sports more and more every day. And we love those people that make that extra effort. The team mom, the assistant coach, the person who takes extra time, already coaches one team, decides to coach another, whatever it might be. We want to hear from you. Get those nominations in, kslsports.com/contest. When you nominate that person, every week we read off a winner on this program, and then they get a prize from Beehive Meals and from Hercules First Federal Credit Union. It's all part of the Hercules Hero program. So there you go. Go in there, throw it down. You know you have somebody in mind who you could probably say, hey, you know what? They deserve a little bit of extra. Before we get to the Utah Jazz and hitting the road against this Indiana Pacers team in Indianapolis here this evening. By the way, the Pacers are a freaking good team. Like they're gonna make a little bit of noise in that Eastern Conference in the playoffs. It's a good basketball team. It's a tough one. They're in absolutely. I don't know. Set it and forget it is not what it is. It's not set it and forget it. It is. They are in the zone. There are teams that are like this right now. I think the hockey club's going to run into a couple of teams like this. Dallas and Winnipeg are what they are now, which is high level of competing. And I don't know if you can ask more of what the hockey club has given, a team. And frankly, like getting to this point, you asked Coach Tourigny about getting to this point of the season, how much it wears on guys. And it's like, no, man, they're pros. They're pros, and they know how to do this as pros. You know who aren't pros? Well, they are the guys at the college level, though. And college basketball.
Are you sure we can? I mean, they're getting paid like pros.
No, they are. They're and maybe maybe I am totally misspeaking by saying that these guys. But I will say there's still a level when you watch. This is something I totally agree with David Locke on when he brings it up. College basketball is hard to watch compared to the NBA. Am I wrong?
No.
College basketball, even at its best, is difficult to watch because there's not a lot of defense getting played. The shooting is not nearly as good. You are blessed to watch an NBA game. Even when guys have an off shooting night, they're still the best in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this Final Four, though, is argued that it is the best set of 4 teams we've ever seen in this at this point in the tournament. 4 number 1 seeds, all facing off against one another. You saw, by the way, that Bruce Pearl from Auburn and Rick Pitino from St. John's tied for the AP Coach of the Year today. And it's the first time they've ever tied. The AP voters just say, hey, here's the vote, and they split it exactly down the middle. 2 very deserving candidates. I hate Bruce Pearl. I can't stand Rick Pitino. You can't argue with the fact that these guys got some results out of kids. And college still has that aspect of a coach can drive a team. A coach can will a team to win. A coach can be the difference maker. I was thinking we were just talking about that Lakers-Warriors game last night. The Warriors are really freaking good right now. They're playing great basketball. And I was like, yeah, but the Lakers are going to turn it on in the playoffs. You know how it is.
You're right.
And I know J.J. Redick's getting a lot of credit, but, like, come on. You know what I mean? The NBA, it's not about dialing up the plays for these guys. It's not about having the egocentric basketball coach from college doesn't really exist in the NBA to the same level.
Right, I agree with that.
But I'm interested because when you've got Duke coming in with the best player of the year, Cooper Flagg, it's official, he's the AP Men's Basketball Player of the Year. One of the best players I've ever watched, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody here is praying and hoping and crossing their fingers.
Lose more so we can get this lottery.
So that you can get that 14% chance. Speaking of which, we were on vacation and my kids loved it. Like, Dad, get a scratch ticket. Like, we're in all these other places. I'm like, okay, hand money over to the state of Florida? I don't think so. And it's like, well, what's the big deal? What are the odds of you winning the lottery? I go, well, it's not good for lots and lots of money. But they make it to where, like, hey, it's like a 1 in 4 chance of you breaking even, on that $5 that you throw at a scratch ticket. And then we looked at the real odds in the back, and it was honestly like to win $5 back on a $5 scratch card was like 11%. And I was like, okay, this is the Cooper Flagg lottery right here. Right. The Jazz get a 14% chance of getting that thing. That's not very good odds.
Pretty much
it's stacked against you.
1 out of 10.
It's stacked against you. But Cooper Flagg, you're going to have the opportunity to watch Auburn and Florida, Duke and Houston. I've got Houston winning the whole dang thing on I think with my family bracket. With the KSL bracket, I have Florida winning it. And so I'm crossing my fingers for neither Duke nor Auburn to be able to get this thing done. But I just have a hard time. Duke has won every one of their games by an average, I think, of like 23.5 points in the tournament. They are really freaking good. They got the best player by far in the tournament, and it's hard to imagine this Duke team not turning it around. And like I said, this is not the pros. These are messy, messy games, and, man, they're still so much fun to watch. The Final Four is phenomenal. The national championship game typically ends up being a pretty darn good basketball game, so I'm hoping for the same thing on Monday. But I've got Florida and Houston defying the odds because I think both of those teams are underdogs technically going into this one. But I've been able to watch Houston up close and personal this year. That is a really freaking good team.
Yeah.
That is a really good basketball team. And by the way, talk about coaches who know what they're doing. Kelvin Sampson is long due for a national championship for a guy who's taken, I think, 32 teams. BYU's whole history of teams has only had 32 appearances in the NCAA tournament. I think Kelvin Sampson has taken Houston and any other teams that he's ever coached at the Division I level 27 times to the NCAA tournament. And so this will be another Final Four for him. He's had an awesome career. I like Kelvin Sampson. I don't like Bruce Pearl. I like John Shire. Fine. I think Florida's head coach is a little bit of is not the coolest cat around. But did he have some stalking charges this year that got They got dropped, though. Hey, they got dropped, right? You have time for that?
I was about to say, I'm just like...
You have time for that?
Like, what did you do
Maybe
to
he
get
didn't because they dropped
charges?
all the... It's like, hey, man, I'm trying to take these guys to Final Four. Well, hold on. Grab my binoculars. Like, what are we doing?
Let's fine.
Jeez. Anyway, bottom line is Final Four this weekend.
It's going to be great.
This is why we love college basketball. It's this time of year. This is what we love the most.
I mean, you got Florida, Houston. The only real team out of these four that I haven't looked at and is Florida. So I don't know much about them. But I got the opposite. I got Auburn, Duke in this. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think the game against Houston, Duke-Houston, is going to be top tier. As we know about the Houston defense,
Man, I hope so.
They're elite, but I just think that Duke is stacked. Duke got that blue blood, that name where they can get the best recruits, and I think that individual. And I don't even think that tonight's going to be Cooper Flagg's night because everybody's going to be centered around taking him out. But I don't think it's going to be one of those 23-point wins that Duke's had. I think it's going to be a really good game. But I got Duke edging them and then Auburn getting over Florida. So I got Auburn and Duke in the championship, and it's going to be a slugfest next week.
There's part of me also that just goes, look, Houston, this is not a football school. You know what I mean? Duke is not really basketball. I don't love the idea of Auburn being like, oh, whoops, we won a national championship in basketball. You know what I mean? I hate that idea.
But
Like,
you're okay with like Florida
No,
doing
not really.
basketball and football? What do you
same
consider
thing.
Florida?
I'm saying, well, Florida, in my mind, these SEC teams will always be basketball or football schools first. For
Okay.
me, okay. Duke is a basketball school. Houston's a basketball school. And so the idea of Auburn being good in, like, having recent national championships in football, having a recent string of success in college basketball, that should be a pretty big indicator that money makes a massive difference. And BYU fans should be excited. Utah fans should be excited. The donors are letting it all hang out, man. They do not care. They're like, yeah, we don't care if people know that we're going to throw a bunch of money at these guys. You know what I mean? Like, they're happy to do it. Like, I don't know what Duke's payout looks like. What is Cooper Flagg making this year? No idea.
I want to know that.
Has On3 made that guess? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that the money that comes into these guys to participate at this level, I bet that the top 15 teams, I bet that in the Sweet 16, because it was pretty chalk in the Sweet 16 too, I bet you could have rolled out those rosters and rolled out their payroll and been like, these turn out that they're all top 20 teams payroll-wise too. Of course they are. You know what I mean? William and Mary can't participate at this level. Congrats, you made it to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Call us back when you have 7 figures to throw at not just one person but multiple people, which is, I think, what you're going to be getting into next year. Right. If BYU wants Richie Saunders coming back next year, by the way, it's going to take $1 million plus. He's a first-team Big 12 guy. He could go get $1 million plus already. Is it true Dallin Hall's hitting the transfer portal? Is that what we saw too? Yeah. Everything this time of year is so freaking stupid April Fool's bullcrap that I don't know. So he is in the transfer portal, okay? BYU will have the possibility of spending maybe almost $10 million on that roster next year.
On basketball, not even football.
Not even on football. Well, it's easier to spend money on basketball. You get better results, quicker results. You know what I mean? You get a big-time quarterback and you pay a bunch of money to. Ask Utah if that works out all the time for you. I'm not trying to be mean. What I'm saying is one singular player can make a basketball team. It really can. It's bonkers.
True.
So So we'll see. We'll see what the fruits of millions of dollars going around to all these rosters. I would love to see a graphic of just the money over the top of each one of these kids' heads when they're running down the court. You know what I mean? Like that.
I mean,
like
the Amazon
video game.
The Amazon football. You know, you could do that.
Let's do it.
This like you're rating
show
a
me the
restaurant.
money. Yes, show me exactly where that money is. By the way, Hans and Scotty, join them. Next week, they're going to be on Tuesday at the My Hearing Centers in Sandy. Go check it out. My Hearing Centers, 8941 South and 7th East in Sandy. Hans and Scotty, noon to 3 is where you can join them. All right, we'll take the break. We'll come back. We'll get you ready for the Jazz and the Pacers. That's coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. Pre-game coming right up. We'll give you the updated injury list for this evening's game as well. So stay here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
You know what's coming.
Your daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz.
It's time.
All season long and even in the off season. It's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. You know what this is. This music, of course, means it is a Jazz game day. It is a Jazz look into what things are going on right now with this team who are facing off tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are pretty darn good.
Yeah, they are.
It's a good basketball team out there in the East, and the Jazz are going to be tipping off at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock is the pregame right here. Spring fever is spreading right now. Paris RV has the best selection, the lowest prices. Check them out, parisrv.com. And by the way, I can also tell you that next week on Tuesday, Jake and Ben are going to be out at Peach Window and Doors, 2940 South and 3rd West in Salt Lake City. peachbuildingproducts.com is the website. That's peachbuildingproducts.com. All right, tonight, let's see who your outs are. Of course, Jordan Clarkson's been shut down for the rest of the season. John Collins is out. Walker Kessler is going to be out with the broken nose and the concussion protocol. Lauri Markkanen out because of left knee injury management. Cody Williams, of course, is still sick and out for the rest of the year and out. KJ Martin still out as well. Lots of outs and a lot of big names are going to be out there, but this is a tough team. Sly, and I anticipate they're going to work their butts off, man, in any one of these games here last part of the season.
Yeah, man. Just gotta fight. It doesn't matter. Anytime you get an opportunity, this is what I tell like everybody. Opportunities are limited. You don't know when you're going to be your last day. So make it happen. Especially the way this season has gone, and people get opportunities. I'd love to hear these Rudy stories of people that had just a small window and then they maximized it. So
yeah, I'm interested. You know, and maybe it's part of it, but I'm interested to see who the guys are going to be who are not with this organization next year. That's just as interesting to me.
Yeah.
To see how they're going to use some of these veterans in the rebuild and some guys who are not going to be part of the rebuild going forward. Bonkers stuff. All right, Sly, thanks for hanging out this week, man.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate you, dude.
Thank you guys for calling me.
We'll hang out again, I'm sure, in the very, very near future. For our producer, Alex, I'm Alex. We'll be back again Monday. Jazz basketball coming right up. You're going to get your pregame. Jake Scott, the coach, Tim Lacombe. Don't miss any of it right here. Stay here, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.